Want to flatten your tummy for good? Then you need to eat less calories than you burn off, plus tighten the muscles that reduce your waistline. That's what we're focusing on today. The transverse abdominis, or TVA for short, is what we are going to be targeting. Collectively, they help pull your stomach inwards. So targeting those horizontal wraparound muscles is going to help reduce bloating out tummies. Maybe you have a six-pack but that bloats out. Maybe you're a mum, or maybe you have a condition like diastasis recti, where the linea alba that runs right down the middle of the six-pack opens up and stretches out. If any of those situations sound familiar, then this TVA focused exercise is going to help you. What do the TVA muscles do? Well, they act like a belt. So when you contract your TVA muscles, your waistline will reduce. However, when you relax your TVA muscles, your waistline will expand. Now, if you train these muscles little and often, the TVA will become a little less lax and a little more toned or tightened at rest. Now that's the goal that you want, because then you'll subconsciously be able to keep your waistline trimmer without having to think about it all the time. All right, but does it work long term? Listen, we can all suck in our waists, but imagine if at rest or subconsciously that your waistline is already actively holding itself in. Well, that is exactly what you're going to be targeting when you are focusing on strengthening your TVA muscles, because remember, they collectively help reduce your waistline. Plus, there are some additional benefits. The TVA works well to stabilize the spine, so that can help reduce back pain or just minor aches, and potentially strengthen your pelvic floor muscles. Once you learn to engage and maintain tension in your TVA, you're going to notice how much more effective your core workouts are and how much more control and stability you have in exercise and general everyday life. Okay, that's the benefits done with. Should we get on with the exercise? Let's run through it. So we only have one exercise here, but I have a few variations so that you can take on the variation that suits you best and where you are. I'm going to start with the standing version, which could be seen as the most advanced, and then we'll run backwards and again find out where you're at. So in the standing position here, what you're going to do, first off, again, you're not going to think about this too much. You're just going to take in a big amount of air. You're really going to fill those lungs full of air. Then you're going to let out that air, or most of that air. Once you have let out most of the air in your lungs, you're then going to purse your lips. You're going to shut your mouth and you're going to leave a little gap, and you're going to carry on breathing out. By doing that, by breathing out through pursed lips, you're going to increase the amount of tension within the core region. That in itself is going to make those TVA muscles come in, and you're going to contract that waistline. Once you've got to the point where you can breathe out no more in that pursed lips position, then you're going to pull the stomach in. Now, essentially what that means is you're going to try and draw that belly button in towards your spine. Now, the way I like to think about this is imagine that someone's trying to tickle your belly. If you don't like that, you want to back away from it. Or that maybe someone's got an ice cube and they're trying to put that towards your belly button. Again, you don't want it to touch your belly button, so you're drawing in. Once you're in that position, then you want to maintain that position for as long as you comfortably can. Now, you can build this up over time. If you can start at 2 or 3 seconds, that's great. Build up to 10 seconds, and then ultimately getting to around 30 seconds would be a really good amount of time to really work that TVA in that contracted position. Then you relax, take a little bit of a breath, repeat it again 2 to 3 times. That's all you need to do. If you do that first thing in the morning, you're going to find it much more pleasant when you've got an empty stomach. So a slightly easier version of this exercise is to lean over a bed or maybe a kitchen worktop, and there you are going to help yourself prop yourself in this position as shown in the demo here, but you're going to go through the same cues. You're going to inhale, then you're going to exhale. Once you've exhaled most of the air, then you're going to purse your lips. You're going to breathe out through pursed lips again, and then once you get to that maximal point, you're going to draw that belly button in, again as if someone's trying to tickle your belly or maybe put an ice cube on your belly button. You're going to draw that tummy in, then you're going to hold that position for anywhere up to 30 seconds, and you'll repeat that 2 or 3 times. So the exercise is exactly the same, it's just the position that has changed. Okay, now if that isn't working for you, then what you can do is come down onto all fours. And again, I've shown on the video here. All the actions are exactly the same. You're going to have your shoulders above your hands and your hips above your knees, as shown in the demo there. You're going to breathe in and then you're going to let out the air. Once you've let out most of the air, you're going to breathe out through pursed lips. And then once you've run out of air to breathe out, then you are going to draw that belly button in. So now you're trying to point it up towards the ceiling and try and drag that belly button up towards the ceiling. Then you're going to maintain that position. Now here you don't have to worry about stability. You're on all fours. Everything else is supported and you can focus on drawing in that TVA. Now this can get really intense. So it is a really great way of strengthening the TVA muscles. Again, hold for 5 to 30 seconds, then relax, take a few breaths, and then go in again. 2 to 3 times is going to work wonders. And if you're not able to nail that, then what you can do is turn yourself over. So now you're facing the ceiling. Now this would be seen as the easiest version here, because here you're going to have gravity helping you draw that tummy in. But again, you run through all the same cues here. You take a nice deep breath in first, then you exhale. Then once you've exhaled most of that air, then you'll purse your lips and you'll carry on exhaling the rest of that air all the way out as far as you can. And then from there, you're going to try and drawing at the last moment here, really pull in that belly so you're flattening that tummy in that position. Again, you'll really feel those TVA muscles working, and it doesn't matter where your body fat levels are. Anyone can do this at any body fat level. You are still going to be working those muscles, and over time, you are going to develop stronger TVA muscles. So they're the 4 versions of the exercise. They're all exactly the same. Pick the position that works for you, but ultimately you want to end up in the standing position, because that is obviously the most functional way to do this exercise. If you're having a testing time to contract your core and you're having to work hard on these TVA exercises, does that mean that you should stop doing all other core exercises or any other exercise for that matter? No, not at all. But what you need to do is become more aware as to whether you are losing that tension while, say, doing those core exercises. If you are, say you are in a plank, for example, and you cannot maintain the TVA tension, then that exercise is either a step too far for you or you are doing it for too long. You want to maintain any exercise you're doing, be it a dynamic exercise or a stationary or isometric exercise such as a plank, as long as you can maintain that TVA tension. Then you are not only going to be strengthening your TVA, but you're also going to be able to open your repertoire of exercises and develop more TVA strength in different positions and different dynamic moves. So ultimately, what I'm saying is you use a little bit of logic, get in tune with your body, get in tune with your TVA, and work that through the exercises you're doing. Now, beyond core exercises, there are plenty of exercises that benefit from having a strong core, but especially having strong TVA muscles. Now, it could be anything, even a deadlift. When you are lifting, if you can maintain that core tension without the tummy popping out, then you're not only going to benefit from strengthening your TVA further, but you're also going to stabilize your spine. That is going to help you get more from the exercise, more drive out of the exercise, and ultimately make that exercise safer. Again, you don't want to overthink this, but you want to be conscious and aware of what you're doing. Okay, so I think we're well and truly covered the TVA and how that group of muscles can help reduce your waistline, protect your back, and help you with all-round exercise and your general day-to-day movement. If you enjoyed this video, then great, please click the subscribe button so you're notified of new videos when they come out. Also check out theworkingbody.com for all your health, fitness and nutritional information, and I'll see you again soon.